Hey guys, Bob, No Rush Homestead. We've got a thunderstorm going on outside today, so I've got my kitchen apron on. I'm going to do a little baking. I was off work for about 6 months with shoulder surgery, and so during that time, Misty and I started some sourdough, and we've been rolling with it, doing different things. One of the things I'm going to do today is a hamburger buns from Sourdough Starter, or discard. You can use either one. We've done it with both. Today I'll actually be using some of my starter. I am a recipe following guy. I follow the recipe whether I'm at the fire station and the kitchen there or the kitchen at home. You might hear Cy in the background. He's got a toy trying to get my attention. We've been playing for about a half hour before I started trying to get this video going. So what I'm going to do, first I'll show you what I've done. Taken this video, and I'll give credit to the author. I pulled this off of Pinterest, and what I've done, being it's just the two of us, is I've cut down the recipe, everything in half. And so what we're going to do is we'll get started here. Get everything kind of lined up. So I've got it, and like I said, I'm making a half recipe. I've got my stand mixer. There's 3/4 cups of flour. Here's another 2 cups flour into my stand mixer. Then I've got some ready yeast, fast rising instant yeast. That I've already pre-measured. Put it in. That's 3/4 teaspoon. Now I need 1 teaspoon kosher salt. Eighth of a cup granulated sugar. Get that all mixed in there into the bowl. Now I'm going to add my sourdough starter, which I'm going to do a 1/4 cup sourdough starter. Oh, I'm sorry, half cup sourdough starter. My spatula kind of half cup sourdough starter. Our sourdough's name is Matilda, if anybody's curious. Misty named her, but she has been treating us very well. We've made a lot of bread and cinnamon rolls, pizza dough, a lot of things with her. And matter of fact, I've got some bread proofing in the refrigerator right now. This is Matilda. We just keep her in that. Alright, so now got the starter in. 1 egg. Try not to get any eggshell. We do compost, and so that'll go in my little compost bin. Oil, which is going to be 1/8 of a cup of olive oil. If you notice, that's a 1/4 cup, but I just did half of it. Love my fractions. And then water. So this is about the trickiest thing with this. You don't want your water too hot or too cold. And so we want it around 105 degrees, and I need 3/4 cup. So what I'm going to do is turn on some warm water, get it running. And I'm actually going to use my kitchen thermometer. It's 95 degrees, I don't know if you can see that, 97. And 105. And I only need 3/4 cup. So what I did, got a little over a cup in there. You don't want it too warm because it could kill your yeast. So that's why the temperature is so, try to get it so exact. So 3/4 cup of water into the mix. Let's make sure I got everything here. What I do, I got the flour, yeast, salt, sugar, water, starter, olive oil. All right, now I'm gonna put on my bread hook and just gonna mix this on a low speed till everything gets mixed. Just kind of getting it mixed together here. Just breaking everything loose. Then I'll scrape off my spatula, get all that goodness from the sourdough starter, which kind of tries to cling. Get that going, lock her back down. Then I'm going to speed it up a little to kind of a medium-high speed. And we're going to let that knead for 8 to 10 minutes. And how we'll know it's ready is when the ball really gets nice and smooth. So we're just going to let that go for another 10 minutes. I'll actually set my timer so I don't lose track of time. But I'll kind of watch it and see how it changes. Alright, I'll catch back up with you. Alright, so it's been 10 minutes. You can tell it's pretty smooth there. What I've done is I've sprayed a mixing bowl with some avocado oil. Now I'm going to pull that out and place it. Ooh, about lost you guys. My bad. Alright. Well, it's nice and smooth. Pull that off the mixer. You can use a little water if you want on your fingers to help get it out. It was pulling out pretty good, so I wasn't too worried about it. Nice little ball. It's a little sticky. Get as much of the goodness out that I can. Alright. So like I said, I put it in this mixing bowl that's been sprayed with avocado oil. And now I'm going to cover it with a good old shower cap. Set you down for a second. Just cover it with a shower cap, help keep it sealed. And I'm going to let it set for an hour to rise. It should double in size. Today it's a little cooler in the house because of the storm, so it might take a little longer, but we want it to double in size. And then we'll work on dividing it up. Alright, so while we're waiting for everything to come on, I've got the sourdough bread proofing in the fridge. I've got the dinner rolls, or the hamburger buns, that's what it is. Hamburger buns rising on top of the fridge. Now I'm going to feed Matilda. And we feed her with, oop, it shut off. Make sure it's on grams. I'm going to want 50 grams of bread flour. That's at 48. It was at 50, bouncing back. I was just going to brag about how good I was, and it went back to 48. So we'll get her close to 50. All right, 50 grams of bread flour mixed in there. Now I'm going to do 50 grams of water. And I know people say not to use tap water, but that is really all we have used since we started her. And she's a beautiful thing, very active, stays active. When we're not using her, we put her in the fridge. All right. Another spatula. Then I'm just gonna mix her up. When we have her out of the fridge, we feed her once a day. And yeah, before you comment on our container, Misty and I were just talking last night how we need to clean her house, use Matilda down one day, and then put her into another jar and clean this jar. It's getting a little out of hand. All I'm doing is just giving it a good mix. I'm not really like beating it or anything. It's kind of hard to do with one hand here. Just kind of turning it. Getting the flour and the water all mixed in so she stays happy and grows. Set you guys down. Clean off as much as I can with a spatula. What you don't want to do is you don't want to just throw the spatula in the sink covered in sourdough starter and have it plug your drains. You'll become a friend with a plumber. So there she is right now. She's just starting to bubble because I just fed her and she's liking life. I'll put the lid on her, set her aside, and she'll be ready to use later. I'm going to make, I think, a jalapeno cheddar loaf of bread today also. So while that's going, I'm getting my Dutch oven ready to bake the bread that I have proofing right now. So I'll get that ready. I just pulled out the last piece of parchment paper that I could find, and so I'm a little short. It does cover the bottom, so I'm going to hope that's going to be enough, but it's barely covers the bottom, so it'll be interesting, but I think it'll work this time. Misty's at work today, so I can't ask her where she hid the roll of parchment paper, but we'll make do. All right, so my dough has doubled in size. It's looking really good. And so now I'm gonna fold it out onto my workspace here. By the way, I'm making one heck of a mess in the kitchen today. I've got some brownies going. I've got all kinds of good stuff. So now, why does it keep? All right, so I'm going to divide it in half. And I'm going to make about 2.5 ounces balls. Just make them into balls, kind of work them so the fold side is down. These are, oh, and I'm putting them on a greased cookie sheet. And the last time I made these, I didn't realize, but you want them to kind of look like a small bun, and that gives you a better looking finished product. I was just kind of making them into a ball, and I didn't care where the seam was or anything, but if the seam's on the bottom, it makes a better looking bun. So I'm just kind of folding them into a ball, 2.5 ounces big. Place them on a greased cookie sheet. I think I said that. We had some overripe bananas going on, so I made some banana bars with chocolate chips, my favorite. First time I tried that recipe, but looked good, so what the heck, right? It's gonna be a little small. Fold them, getting the seam side down. Something that kind of resembles a small bun. I can't remember how many the full recipe makes, but we just make a half recipe and it gives us plenty. We don't eat a lot of sandwiches, but they're calling for nice weather this weekend. Forgot to weigh it. And so I'd like to grill some burgers. We make some horseradish burgers. And so I'm going to try to grill those this weekend. So we wanted some good buns. Like I said, I try to, Misty might disagree, but I try to keep up on my mess as I'm working in the kitchen. So I've been doing some dishes as I go, but I got quite a mess building up behind me here. And I just got the brownies in the oven. Got the one of these, I can't remember which one, was a little short. I'm going to add it to 2. Like that one maybe. Then I kind of separate them a little bit on the pan, because now what we got to do, get this stuff off of here. Get a little bit of oil off my hands. I've got to I've got to brush on a little bit of olive oil to the tops. Not a lot, just give them a little coating. Somehow I ended up with an odd number here. Normally it's pretty even, but you know, I guess I'll have an extra one. I don't know. All right. So now I got that. Need to cover it with plastic wrap. Yeah. I never mastered the art of plastic wrap. All right. So there those are. Now I gotta let them set for another hour. Oh, that one I made a little funky. It'll be a odd bun, but let them set for an hour and they should double in size again, and then they'll be ready to bake. See you in an hour. All right, when my hamburger buns are rising, remove my shower cap here from my sourdough bread. We're gonna get it ready to go in the oven. Parchment paper on. Try to keep it relatively even. Now's where I wish this kind of had a handle so I could grip my bowl to pull it out. That didn't come out too bad. There's my sourdough. Try to make sure the parchment's not piercing it anywhere. Take a razor blade and I'm going to give it a little score here. I don't get too fancy, I just try to break it up a little. Give it some relief cuts. There that is. We'll put the top on it. And then I'll put it in the oven, let me see, 55 minutes at 450 degrees. And I'm going to let the oven kind of preheat with it in there. So that, yeah, that kind of affects your time. If you've already started with a preheated oven, you're going to want to do less time. I like bringing everything, the pot and sourdough, everything up to temperature with the oven. So I've got the brownies out of the oven that I did, had the oven cooling down, and I do have a gas oven. And so what I'm going to do is I take a cookie sheet and I put it below where I'm actually going to put the sourdough. Whoop, there we go. so it kind of helps deflect the heat a little better. And then that will go in a 450 degree oven for 55 minutes. So these are the banana chocolate chip bars that I made real quick to use up those 2 bananas. I'll try to pin the recipe, but it was super simple. Brown sugar, flour, egg, vanilla, chocolate chips, butter. I'm sure I'm missing something, but it was a nice easy recipe. Throw them together to use up those bananas before they go. Don't want to waste them before they go too bad. And that looks delicious. We'll see how it is once it cools down. All right, just pulled the sourdough out. Oh, she looks so pretty. Looks pretty. All right, fan just kicked on because of the heat. I'm gonna pull it out of the Dutch oven here. Still using the parchment paper. All right. Now we'll let her cool. I think she looks beautiful. Nice rise on her. Another look at the brownies. I have not cut into yet, but I will. That's that. Then the buns have doubled in size, so I actually got the oven cooling down to 400, and then I'm going to, let me double check, bake at 400 degrees until golden brown, 15 to 20 minutes. There's my odd shaped one. That'll be an odd shaped hamburger bun, but a couple of them there. But so I'm going to put these in the oven, letting it cool down a little bit for another 15 to 20 minutes. And I think my baking for the day will be done. I've got 3 things. Let me show you Matilda. She's nice and happy now after feeding her. So tonight I'll probably start the jalapeno cheddar bread, get that going, and boy, isn't she gorgeous. Alright, I'll show you the buns when they're done, if I can get my glove off. Alright, timer went off for the buns. Let's pull them out, see what they look like. Ooh, it's hot. Nice and golden brown. They look beautiful. Sorry for the fan, it's automatic when it senses too much heat. They look beautiful. Let them cool and they'll go perfect with spring grilled hamburgers this weekend. Alright, well, thank you guys for joining me on this baking stormy day, but weather, it's let up with the thunderstorms, still kind of raining off and on, but I got some baking done and happy. Misty will be happy when she gets home. Got some good bread, some buns, and then a little banana chocolate chip treat. So one last look at everything here. Buns are looking good. The bread turned out beautiful. And haven't tried those yet, but I'm hoping they're delicious. Alright, thanks for watching. Appreciate it if you like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.